new energy. Ma said there's new energy on this planet. How can we work with it? It's there. As much as I've got this microphone in my hand right now, oh, I've got this, I can work with it. How do we work with the new energies that are here now, available to us? Would you like to share?
Sure. For me, that's really also a shift in perception. Because when I first started coming to programs, I was 16 when I first met Ma. And I would say that I was getting worked by the energy. Like I would come to programs, I'd sit in the back, and so much would come up inside of me. Really at that time, rage. So much rage, so much anger, so much discomfort. I was like crawling out of my skin. And I kept coming to these workshops, and the energy was working with me. I felt like what I was doing was showing up, but I didn't really have any conscious say in what was going on. It was happening to me. And then at some point, I got cleared out enough to say, wow, actually, I can work with this energy. And that like unlocked this secret realm, which honestly, like most people out there in the world are not aware of and are not working at that level. I love being in this room with all of us because we get it. It's not something I can always talk about in my everyday life. But it's like there's this subterranean level of energy. Or high. It depends how you want to look at it. For me in my work, there's times when things can be very chaotic. People around me are understandably, there's a lot of pressure, are emotional, there's chaos, there's upset, there's anger. And as that's all happening, I could feel I could move into that, but instead I go down underneath and I work with the energy. So that when I have a project, I mentioned I own a production company, and sometimes we have multiple productions going on around the country at the same time. So we have something called a tech scout, when the department heads go to the location and figure out what kind of gear they need for the project. I go to the tech scout so I can see the location so that I can bring the violet flame into that location. And Mom mentioned it yesterday, the violet flame is a frequency of energy that we've been taught to practice with Ma. So on my productions, I bring the violet flame into the location. I visualize the crew. I work at the level of energy on the projects that I'm working on. I also, with the intelligent body, Ma has spoken to us about that. Every night before I go to bed, I used to just be like, and now I consciously go through my day. I consider what in that day there is to be grateful for. And I work with the intelligent body, commanding that it deprogram death, disease, and aging, and reprogram vitality, vibrant health. It release the divine perfection of my quantum DNA throughout my whole system while I'm sleeping, so that when I wake up, I feel rested and rejuvenated. You know, this is the secret of working with energy, especially the energies of the new paradigm.
Two examples I'd like to share with you. One is I officiated a wedding recently of a good friend of mine's daughter. And I've done it before. And so it could be like, okay, I'm doing this again. Here's I'm going to officiate a wedding, and there's the usual process I go through and what I say and everything like that. But having been in this conversation, this new paradigm, it was I don't want it to be like an ordinary. I don't want it to be like what I've done before, right? Let's have something special happen here. And then that's when it occurred to me, like, oh, I could work with the energy of the new paradigm. So I did. I spent quite a bit of time the days before the wedding. I went to the place where the wedding was, and I walked around the space of the wedding and just asked Ma to come be there with me and bless this space. And then I imagined all the people that were going to be there and had them be there. And they weren't there yet. It was 2 days before the wedding, but I had them there. And then I asked Ma's Guru Baba to come be with us and bless the people. And then I asked Saint Germain to come be with us and give them health and well-being. And I asked Babaji to come be with us. And it was as real as I'm here with you right now. It was that real that all of a sudden we had 4 more guests at this wedding. Had to put up chairs for them. But the energy was there. And I can't tell you after during the reception, the number of people that came up to me and they go, I don't know how to describe this, but something was special here, right? That's all they said. This wasn't an ordinary wedding, was it? And they didn't know what they were talking about, but they'd experienced something, and it was the grace that was there, the love that was there is a presence, not an idea. That's one example of working with the energy. The other one is with my grandsons. I have 22-year-old grandsons, Garrett and Lucas. And of course, in my world, I never see them enough. If they're not with me 24/7, I'm not seeing them enough, right? So I always want to see them more. And all of a sudden I realized, wait a minute, I got it. They're a 5-hour drive away in the physical world, but what about, hey, I could be with them, couldn't I? As love, I could be with them. As the light I am, I can actually be with them right now in their rooms. So I literally visualized for myself, Garrett in his room and Lucas in his room. And then I went to be with them as the love that I am, as the light that I am, as the energy that I am. And again, as real as I'm here right now with you physically, it was that real that I was there with them. It was so satisfying. And then this miracle happened. Like while I'm engaged in this a great thing happened. I get a text from Garrett. He goes, we're going kayaking and we rented you a kayak. Will you come? What do you think my response was? I was in the car so fast driving. So working with the energies in this new paradigm, we have that available. That's what we want to communicate right now. We'd like you to get into wow, there are new energies on this earth and I can work with them. We can do that. Here's what we'd like you to do is we're going to give you time to share with each other. What we'd like you to do is look to the things that you do routinely in your life. What are some of the things you do routinely? One of the things I do routinely is I visit my mom every day. So I go visit my mom. That's something I do routinely. Some of you go to work routinely. Some of you greet your husband, your wife, your partner as they come in the door from their day of work. You just they come home and you greet them. That's something you do routinely. You may have a staff meeting routinely at your office. What are some of the things you do routinely? Pay bills. That's right. Oh yeah, that one even. Let's go right to the heart of the matter. Pay bills. So we'd like to give you an opportunity to share with each other for a minute. And we're doing breakout. Right. For those of you online, we're going to put you in a breakout group. And give you an opportunity to share and just pick something you do routinely and then imagine, imagine. If I worked with the energies of the new paradigm, if I could work with the energies and bring them in some way to that thing that I do routinely, for me, okay, I'm going to walk in my mom's apartment. I do that every day. But if I was going to now work with the energies of the new paradigm while I'm walking in the door of my mom's apartment, wow, I wonder what that would be like. Imagine that. I wonder what that experience would be. I wonder what might happen then. So as you share with each other, and again, just we'll break up into small groups and we're going to give you a few minutes and just pick an area of your life that you do routinely and then imagine, play with. If I could work with the energies of the new paradigm and bring it to that situation in my life, I wonder what that might be like. What could happen then?